The services are competing case eyeballs not only from each other but also from shows on YouTube and traditional broadcast channels. Often the safest way forward is piggybacking on established titles that parents already known for their childhood and leaning into the nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
This image released by Netflix shows a scene from the epic takes a captain on the pants. This image released by Netflix shows a scene from the epic takes of Captain Underpants. Amazon Prime Video has rebooted Clifford the Big Red Dog and has original shows features Kung Fu Panda, Patty the Cat, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. CBS All Accents has a series built on the classic book, Cody with the Chance of Metal Balls, and the classic Tom Danger Mouse. Amazon Prime Video has rebooted Cliff the Big Red Dog and has original shows featuring Kung Fu Panda, Pat and Cats, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. CBS All Access has a series built on the classic book, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and the classic Tom Danger Mouse. Disney Plus is offering shorts starring Forky from Toy Story 4 and a reboot of the Hilary Duff-led Lazy McGuards, another show built around Fanny Ralph's Fab, plus a new series based on Marvel Comics. The Falcon and the Winter Soldiers and Years Is 2 has multi-pass. The unscripted series Pass Now. Disney Plus is offering shorts starring Forky from Toy Story 4 and a reboot of Harry Duff-led Lazy McGuard, another show built around Phineas Faber, plus a new series based on Marvel Comics. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Years 2 has Muppets the unscripted series Muppet Now. Netflix has embraced shows built around Captain Underpants, Lost in Space, and the book Green Eggs and Ham, the comic book Raising Diane, and even a youth-oriented Fast and Furious series. Netflix has embraced shows built around Captain Underpants, Lost in Space, the book Green Eggs and Hams, the comic book Raising Diane, and even a youth-oriented Fast and Furious series. Our intention is to offer a lot of choice when we think about kids or we think about family audiences. One of the things we think about is there's no two kids that are the same and there are no two families that are the same, said Misa Cobb, Netflix Vice President of Kids and Families. Our intention is to offer a lot of choices when we think about kids or we think about a family audience. One of the things we think about is there are no two kids that are the same and there are no two families that are the same, said Misalva Cobb, Netflix Vice President of Kids and Families. This image released by Scholastic Entertainment shows a scene from the reboot of Clifford the Big Red Dog. The new show offers more diversity among the human characters and put Clifford below the 7-year-old owner, Emily Elizabeth, front and center in this Bridewell Island adventure. This image released by Scholastic Entertainment shows a scene from the rebirth of Clifford the Big Red Dog. The new show offers more diversity among the human characters and put Clifford below 7-year-old owner Emily Elizabeth front and center in his Birdwell Island adventure. Brian White, vice president of original series at Netflix, said its creators are hoping to craft content that allows a family to have a shared experience and a shared conversation wherever that family is. Brian White, vice president of original series at Netflix, said its creators are hoping to craft content that allows a family to have a shared experience and a shared conversation wherever that family is. We really want to be in the space of building real appealing worlds that have something for everybody, he said. One thing that we talk a lot about is reflecting the world back at itself. We want to break down the barriers of who gets to the scene and represent. We really want to be in the space of building really appealing words that have something for everybody, he said. One thing that we talk a lot about is reflecting the world back at itself. We want to break down the barriers of who gets to be seen and represented. We really want to be in the space of building really appealing words that have something for everybody, he said. One thing that we talk a lot about is reflecting the world back at itself. We want to break down the barriers of who gets to be seen and represented. Apple TV Plus subscriber may not get as many shows as Netflix, but executives are building a carefully curated list, including a dozen 8-minute Snoopy in Space animated shorts, as well as the brand new upcoming series, The Snoopy Show, with each installment featuring 3 7-minute cartoons starring Penna's crew. Apple TV Plus subscribers may not get as many shows as Netflix, but executives are building a carefully curated list, including a dozen 8-minute Snoopy in Space animated shorts, as well as the brand new upcoming series, The Snoopy Show, with each installment featuring 3 7-minute cartoons starring the Peanuts crew. They all also get 2 series from Sesame, the live-action preschool-aimed helpsters, which mixes human actors and puppets, including Cody, a new puppet that loves computer coding, and there's Ghostwriter, a live-action fantasy series that reimagined the Sesame Workshop's 1992 series. They also get 2 series from Sesame, the live-action preschool-aimed helpsters, which mixed human actors and puppets, including Cody, a new puppet that loves computer coding, and there's Ghostwriter, a live-action fantasy series that reimagined the Sesame Workshop's 1992 series. This image released the Netflix show characters. Guys M.I. voice by Michael Douglas, Wright and Sam I.M. voice and Adam Devine in the scene from the animated series Green Egg and Ham. The streamer will also have the original animated special Here We Are based on
Lauded.
Lauded author Oliver Jeff's book, the animated series Wolf Boy and the Everything Factory, the live-action animated hybrid Lovely Little Farm, and a pair of animated series based on the children's book Dawn Unplugged, rebranded for TV Dawn Unplugged, and then shorts called Still Water for TV. The streamer will also have the original animated special. Here we are based on loved author Oliver Jeff's books and the animated series of Wolf Boy and Everything Factory. The live-action animated hybrid Lovely Little Farm and a pair of animated series based on the children's book Dog. 刘静文已经过了10分钟了啊。Dog Unplugged rebranded for TV Dog Unplugged, the then shorts called Still Water for TV. When you look at the breadth of programming, I think you'll see a mix of established book properties, reboots of television shows, but also new properties from diverse creators, said Tara Screen. People's head of children's programming. Apple as a whole believes in great storytelling, and so we want to make sure we represent that across our slate. When you look at the breadth of programming, I think you will see a mix of established book properties, reboots of television shows, but also new properties. From diverse creators, said Tara Soren. Apple's head of children programming. Apple as a whole believes in great storytelling, and so we want to make sure we represent that across our slate. Apple as a whole believes in great storytelling, and so we want to make sure we represent that across our slate. Van Amberg and Sorensen said that what makes Apple TV Plus distinctive from some of the others is a commitment to education and imparting lessons. We want to make sure parents feel good about watching these programs together as a family, but also putting their kids in front of them solo, said Sorensen. I think entertainment in kids programming can be purely that it can be thoughtful and entertaining, said Weinberg. But we said, what if we pushed a little bit further? What if there was actually a message? What if there was a takeaway? What if this was a really safe place for kids and families to come and be entertained but actually become somewhat enlightened? I think entertainment in kids programming can be purely that. It can be thoughtful and entertaining, said Van Amberg. But we said, what if we push a little bit further? What if there was actually a message? What if there was a takeaway? What if this was a really safe place for kids and families to come and be entertained but actually become somewhat enlightened? This image released by Netflix shows characters Joseph, voiced by Jason Schwartzman, left, and chorus voiced by James Simon, in the scenes from the animated film Colors. Still to come are plans for kids programming from NBC's upcoming Peacock services, as well as HBO Max, but not everyone is watching the exploring streaming content critically. The Center for Digital Democracy is as wary of streaming content as it is of the Wild West of YouTube videos aimed at kids. It's all about getting their attention so as can be sold, said Jeff Chester, the center's executive director. The global brands such as Sesame, Clifford, and others use YouTube as a way to promote licensed content to sell their own sponsored videos and branded merchandise. Merchandise. This image released by Netflix shows characters Jasper, voiced by Jason Schwartzman, left, and Chorus, voiced by J.K. Simmons, in the scene from the animated film Colors. 不是让你检查吗？ Still to come are plans for kids programming from NBC's upcoming Peacock services as well as HBO Max, but not everyone is watching the explosion in streaming content uncritically. The Center for Digital Democracy is as wary of streaming contents as it is of the wild west of YouTube videos aimed at kids. It is all about getting their attention so as can be sold, said Jeff Chester, the center's executive director. The global brands such as Sesame, Clifford, and others use YouTube as a way to promote licensed content to sell their own and sponsored videos and branded merchandise. CES 2020. If LG's rollable OLED TV sounds familiar, there's a reason. The star of last year's CES was clearly the rollable OLED TV from LG Display, picked by CNET, Mashable, and Reviewed.com as one of the hottest products for CES 2019, a TV that could be rolled up and put in the closet easily. The star of last year's CES was clearly the rollable OLED TV from LG Display, picked by CNET, Mashable, and Reviewed.com as one of the hottest products for CES 2019, a TV that should be rolled up and put in a closet easily. LG didn't disclose a price, but said the product first sneak peeked at CES 2018 would actually be released in the second half of 2018. LG didn't disclose a price, but said the product's first sneak peeked at CES 2018 would actually be released in the second half of 2019. That didn't happen. LG returned to CES again this year with a 65-inch rollable TV and claims the products will be released later this year. Really? According to LG Senior Vice President John Taylor. According to CNET, it will only cost $60,000. LG turned to CES again this year with a 65-inch rollable TV and claims the product will be released later this year. Really? According to LG Senior Vice President John Taylor. According to CNET, it will only cost $60,000, and that's CES in the nutshell. Companies roll the dice and hope for Lady Luck to strike for them. Products come, get touted, sometimes make it to market while many don't. And that's CES in a nutshell. Companies roll the dice and hope for lady luck to strike for them. Products come, get touted, sometimes make it to market, while may not. So what happened to the other hits? The products that made many of the best of show lists from CES 2019. Let's take a look. So what happened to the other hits? What happened to the other hits? The products that made many of best show lists from CES 2019. Let's take a look. Apple AirPlay for the other TV manufacturers. This one actually happened. Apple said during CES that iPhone and iPad users would be able to use AirPlay technology to beam programming from their devices to TVs. Weezer and LG by the spring, the first AirPlay-compatible models first started getting released by Samsung and Weezer. Apple AirPlay for other TV manufacturers. This one actually happened. Apple said during CES that iPhone and iPad users would be able to use AirPlay technology to beam programming from their devices to TV on display at CES from Samsung, Weezer, and LG by the spring. The first AirPlay-compatible model first started getting released by Samsung and Weezer. Samsung Micro LED TV, a modular approach to your big screen TV, Reviewed.com called it the first big step forward for displays in the last decade. Samsung didn't release pricing or release data information then. The TV never was sold in 2019 at CES. Samsung had said it would take 2 to 3 years before a release. Samsung brought new visions to CES 2020, including a 296-inch version, but still no pricing or release date. Lenovo Smart Alarm Clock. The clock with a big display and built-in Google Assistant was released in July and has picked up 31 reviews on Amazon since. It sells for just over $50. Samsung Micro LED TV, a module approach to your big screen TV. Reviewed.com called it the first big step forward for displays in the late last decade. Samsung didn't release pricing or release data information then. The TV never was sold in 2019. At CES, Samsung had said it would take 2 to 3 years before a release. Samsung brought new versions to CES 2020, including a 296-inch version, but still no price or release data. Lenovo Smart Alarm Clock, the cook with the big display and built-in Google Assistant, was released in July and was picked up 31 reviews on Amazon since it sells for just over $50. Ring Doorbell Cam. The Amazon-owned company started as an independent, launching at CES in 2011 by spending $2,000 to put a card table in a small area of the show. Founder Jamie Siminoff ended up making enough contacts to begin selling the new products, eventually getting into Walmart, Home Depot, and other major retailers. From the floor of CES 2019, Siminoff said, "Of the people who were around us, maybe only about 10% are still around. Most are probably dead at this point." Amazon old company started as an independent, launching at CES 2011 by spending $2,000 to put a card table in a small area of the show. found their jammy enough end up making enough contacts to begin selling the new products, eventually getting into Walmart, Home Depot, and other major retailers. From the floor of CES 2019, same enough said of the people who were around us. Maybe only about 10% are still around. Most are probably dead at this point. Rain released several products at CES 2019 and got Google notice. For the Pure Cam for people who live in apartments and don't have a traditional doorbell slot. It sells for $200. It was released in July. Rain released several products at CES 2019 and got gold notices for the P-Cam for people who live in apartments and don't have a traditional doorbell slot. It sells for $200. It was released in July. Call Shell's Alexa Toilet. At the 2018 CES, Kohler announced a connected toilet that answers to Alexa and provides the finest in personal comfort and cleansing. It never got shipped in 2018, but that didn't stop Kohler from bringing it back to CES 2019 and promising a late 2019 release date. It's now being pushed to the second quarter of this year. If you are in a rush, perhaps we could interest you in the regular Nami toilet, which is available now. No Alexa to answer to it, but it has Bluetooth, a CD card slot, as well as a place to charge your phone while you sit on the pot. Price just $11,700.